Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum and a very good afternoon. On behalf of the Institute of Strategic Studies Islamabad, I extend a very warm welcome to all of you today to the special event, the launch of the book Shavkat Mirziyoyev, a great leader of reforms and regional integration. Today's event is jointly organized by the Institute of Strategic Studies Islamabad in collaboration with the Embassy of the Republic of Uzbekistan, as we gather to celebrate the life, leadership, and reform vision of His Excellency President Shavkat, a statesman who has profoundly shaped Uzbekistan's modern transformation and regional engagement. We are deeply honored to have amongst us the Federal Minister, His Excellency, and also Ambassador Alisher Tohtayev, Ambassador of the Republic of Uzbekistan to Pakistan, His Excellency Ambassador Atajan Movlamov, Ambassador of Turkmenistan to Pakistan, our distinguished scholars, diplomats, media representatives, and esteemed guests. Without further ado, let us begin our proceedings. And to formally open today's ceremony, we will begin with the recitation of the Holy Quran.
बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम। शुरू अल्लाह का नाम लेकर जो बड़ा मेहरबान निहायत रहम वाला है।
इन्ना अअतैनाकल कौसर।
ए नबी सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम, हमने तुमको कौसर यानी बहुत ज्यादा भलाई अता फरमाई है।
फसल्लि लिरब्बिक वन्हर।
तो अपने परवरदिगार के लिए नमाज पढ़ा करो और कुर्बानी किया करो।
इन्न शानिअक हुवल अबतर।
कुछ शक नहीं कि तुम्हारा दुश्मन ही बेनाम रहेगा।
Thank you. We shall now proceed to the national anthems. I request all distinguished guests to please rise for the national anthem of the Islamic Republic of Pakistan, followed by the national anthem of the Republic of Uzbekistan. Thank you.
Urfalı hak sever ana yurt Məngü burada
Thank you. To set the context for today's occasion, we will now screen a short video dedicated to the life, vision, and leadership of His Excellency President Shavkat Mirziyoyev, President of the Republic of Uzbekistan. The video highlights his reformist policies, commitment to modernization, and his efforts in strengthening Uzbekistan's regional and global partnerships. Please.
O'zbekiston Respublikasi Prezidenti zimmasiga yuklangan vazifalarni ishqonin bajarishga tantanali qasamyod qilaman.
Vaqtlar o'tadi. 10-15 yillardan keyin mana shu hozir qo'ygan poydevorimiz o'zini juda katta salohiyatli natijasini bildiradi. Odamlarning dunyo qarashini bitta narsa bilan o'zgartiramiz. Aniq natijalar bilan. Odamlar nima edi, nima bo'ldini yaqqol hayotida ko'rdi va ishondi. Qarsak ikki qo'ldan chiqadi. Odamlarimiz ham dunyo qarashi o'zgarib, odamlarimiz ham mana shu o'zgarishlarga munosib bo'lib yashashga harakat qilish kerak. Mana shunda biz natijaga erishamiz. Sinovlardan o'tyapmiz, og'ir sinovlardan o'tyapmiz. Lekin natijasi xalqimiz kutganday bo'ladi. Men niyat qilgan jonajon vatanimizni kelajagi albatta parlaq. Biz juda buyuk xalqmiz, juda buyuk millatimiz bor, buyuk tariximiz bor. Hammamiz hamjihat bo'lishimiz kerak. Ko'p millatli jonajon O'zbekistonimizda ertangi kuni albatta buyuk bo'ladi. Men bunga ishonaman. Biz qo'ygan katta rejalar albatta amalga oshadi. Sadoqat bilan, halollik bilan, poklik bilan, vatanparvarlik bilan, fidoyilik bilan xizmat qilish meni eng katta vazifam. Meni hayotimda ustozlik qilgan xalqni o'zi. Xalqim baxtli bo'lsa, men o'zimni baxtli deb bilaman.
Именно в этом зале.
En nombre de la Asamblea General, tengo el honor de dar la bienvenida al excelentísimo señor Shavkat Mirziyoyev, presidente de la República de Uzbekistán, y lo invito a dirigirse a esta asamblea.
President's very executive, it was fantastic.
Я очень признателен президенту Узбекистана.
Mustahkam tinchlik va hamkorlikka faqat birgalikda erishish mumkin.
Shavkat Mirziyoyev Markaziy Osiyo integratsiyalash jarayonida markaziy shaxsga aylangani ta'kidlanadi.
mamlakatimizda so'nggi yillarda amalga oshirilayotgan islohotlar ortga qaytmas tus oldi.
Для меня большая честь в качестве председателя Совета глав государств Содружества вручить президенту Республики Узбекистан, уважаемому Шавкату Мирзиёеву, межгосударственную награду, почетный знак Содружества независимых государств за выдающийся вклад в развитие Содружества независимых государств, укрепление дружбы, добрососедства и взаимовыгодного сотрудничества между государствами, участниками СНГ.
Monsieur le Président, je vais être très simple et très direct.
Hurmatli prezident, ochiq gapirmoqchiman. Siz 7 yildan beri ochiq siyosat olib bormoqdasiz. Bu mintaqani tinchlantirish va barqarorlashtirish orqali iqtisodiyotni ham rivojlantirish siyosatidir. Biz bu siyosatni qo'llab-quvvatlamoqchimiz va amalga oshirishda sizga yordam bermoqchimiz. Sizning tashabbuslaringiz Turkiy davlatlarning birligi va hamjihatligini mustahkamladi. Hurmatli Shavkat Mirziyoyevich, Turkiy davlatlarning birligini mustahkamlashga qo'shgan ulkan hissangiz uchun sizga Turkiy dunyoning oliy ordenini topshirmoqchimiz.
Thank you. The video truly encapsulates the remarkable journey of Uzbekistan under President Shavkat and his dynamic leadership. Now, to formally begin our discussion, I now invite Dr. Talat Shabir, Director, China-Pakistan Study Center at the Institute of Strategic Studies, Islamabad, to deliver his introductory remarks. Sir.
Thank you. Mr. Aurangzeb Khan Khichi, Federal Minister for National Heritage and Culture. His Excellency Mr. Ali Sher, Ambassador of Uzbekistan to Pakistan. His Excellency Mr. Atajan, Dean of Diplomatic Corps in Islamabad. Chairman BOG, Ambassador Khalid Mahmood. Director General ISSI, Ambassador Suhail Mahmood. Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum and good evening. It's a great privilege and honor to welcome you all on the launch event of book titled Shavkat Mirziyoyev, Great Leader of Reforms and Regional Connectivity, authored by Dr. Mahmood Hassan Khan, Executive Director at the Center for South Asia and International Studies. I commend the author for such a thoughtful and timely work that has focused on visionary leadership of President Shavkat. I'm also thankful to all the distinguished speakers and reviewers who will be sharing their insights on the book. This book serves as a credible work on the visionary leadership of Uzbekistan's president and the transformative era of reform that has turned Uzbekistan into modern nation state. This book is divided into 9 chapters, each discussing important themes such as President's extraordinary leadership, his effective and inclusive governance, economic restructuring, and foreign policy reorientation. Under the President's leadership, Uzbekistan has undergone what can rightly be described as a renaissance of reform, a comprehensive, people-centered transformation focusing on modernization, national identity, and economic liberalization. The author mentions about remarkable leadership qualities of the president, appreciates his visionary leadership by acknowledging his reform-oriented vision for Uzbekistan, modernization, socio-economic development. Since assuming office in 2016, the president led Uzbekistan through an extraordinary phase of transformation, ushering into a new era of openness, modernization, and cooperation. The author discussed in detail the structural reforms of 2017 to 2021, 2022-26, and the key national development strategies such as Vision 2030, Financial Strategy of 2028, New Economic Diplomacy, and Green Transformation. These economic development strategies facilitated the country in achieving integrated socio-economic development and economic diversification, leading to Uzbekistan's sustained economic growth and development. The author shares insights about the key social and cultural reforms initiated by the president that contributed to Uzbekistan's phenomenal social and cultural transformation. These social and cultural development policies led to poverty alleviation, employment generation, and promotion of cultural and heritage. More importantly, he highlights President's extraordinary vision in contributing to greater regional connectivity. He emphasized the strategic significance of Uzbekistan's emerging role in expanding regional connectivity through various key initiatives. The author also notes the different dimensions and parameters of Uzbekistan's foreign policy. It lays out the foundations of Uzbekistan's pragmatic foreign policy approach, which enables the country to envision greater peace, progress, and prosperity. In Chapter 8, author focuses on analyzing the trajectory of Pakistan-Uzbekistan bilateral relations by examining the emerging convergences in the domains of bilateral trade, defense, political cooperation, cultural diplomacy, with huge potential of expanding bilateral strategic cooperation. In conclusion, the author provides important recommendations and policy suggestions to steer efforts towards sustainable economic growth, enhanced regional connectivity, and coherent foreign policy. For Pakistan, this book has immense significance. Our relations with Uzbekistan are anchored in shared history, culture, faith, and collective vision of regional peace and prosperity. From the architectural heritage of Bukhara and Samarkand to the intellectual legacy of Al-Biruni and Imam Bukhari, ties between our people run deep and enduring. In recent years, under the visionary leadership of both countries, our bilateral relations have gained renewed momentum. Uzbekistan's emphasis on expanding regional integration perfectly aligns with Pakistan's vision, Central Asia, and regional connectivity. I congratulate once again to the author for his remarkable work. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you very much, Dr. Talat Shabib, for your insightful remarks and for setting the tone for today's proceedings. I now have the honor to invite Ambassador Suhail Mahmood, Director General of the Institute of Strategic Studies, Islamabad, to deliver his welcome remarks. Sir, the floor is yours.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Honorable Federal Minister Aurangzeb Khan Kichi Saab, Ambassador Ali Sheikh Tutayev, Ambassador Kisrafan, Ambassador Nafiz Zakaria, Ambassador Hamid Asghar Khan, esteemed author and speakers, distinguished participants, Assalamu alaikum and a very good afternoon. It is indeed a great privilege to welcome you all to the Institute of Strategic Studies, Islamabad, for today's launch of the book titled Shavkat Mirziyoyev, A Great Leader of Reforms and Regional Integration. We are delighted to organize this event in collaboration with the Embassy of Uzbekistan. I take this opportunity to warmly congratulate His Excellency Ambassador Ali Sheikh Tutayev on his dynamic efforts for strengthening the abiding bonds of friendship and cooperation between Pakistan and Uzbekistan. We are also pleased to see so many of our distinguished friends in the room who are contributing valuably to the further enrichment of the multifaceted Pakistan-Uzbekistan relationship. At the outset, let me commend the author, Dr. Mahmood Hassan Khan, for his scholarly endeavor in producing a comprehensive study of contemporary Uzbekistan and the leadership of President Shavkat Mirziyoyev. The book, running over 400 pages and addressing 39 interrelated themes, is a seminal work that captures the essence of Uzbekistan's transformation in recent years. its reform journey, economic modernization, social renewal, and dynamic engagement with the region and the world at large. Since assuming office in 2016, President Shavkat has spearheaded an ambitious program of political, economic, and social reform, a vision that has not only reinvigorated Uzbekistan's internal governance, but has also reshaped its foreign policy outlook. His transformational leadership has been marked by inclusivity, openness, and a strong commitment to modernization. Under President Shavkat's guidance, Uzbekistan has undergone remarkable changes, including liberalization of the economy, promotion of private enterprise, streamlining of administrative institutions, and pursuit of good governance. These changes have contributed to a new sense of confidence and dynamism within the Uzbek society. The development strategy of New Uzbekistan from 2022 to 2026 and the long-term Vision 2030 illustrate an all-encompassing blueprint for economic diversification, digitalization, and sustainable growth, objectives that resonate with the global trends and regional aspirations alike. Equally significant has been the President's focus on building a social state, prioritizing poverty reduction, education, and employment generation. The emphasis on cultural diplomacy and preservation of Uzbekistan's civilizational heritage, so ably analyzed in the book, reflects his holistic understanding of nation building, one that values identity, culture, and connectivity as integral components of progress. On the regional front, the President's diplomacy has reinvigorated Uzbekistan's engagement with its neighbors. His policy of good neighborliness and constructive regionalism has turned Central Asia into a zone of dialogue and cooperation rather than resentment and confrontation. Through initiatives such as the Trans-Afghan Railway, the Surkhan-Pula-Khumri Power Transmission Project, and new frameworks for trade and energy connectivity, Uzbekistan has emerged as a proactive advocate of regional integration. The President's role in promoting greater coordination among the Central Asian republics, fostering relations with South Asia, and deepening ties with organizations such as the Shanghai Cooperation Organization and the Organization of Turkic States deserves the highest appreciation. The book before us captures this multidimensional vision with clarity, demonstrating how Uzbekistan's internal reforms and external engagement are mutually reinforcing. In this sense, it serves not only as a biography of a leader, but also a chronicle of our nation's renewal. Distinguished participants, Pakistan and Uzbekistan share deep-rooted bonds of faith, history, and culture that stretch back centuries. From the spiritual influence of Bukhara and Samarkand to the intellectual legacy of illustrious scholars such as Al-Biruni and Al-Khwarizmi, whose contributions to science, mathematics, and philosophy shaped the nature and scope of human knowledge. The timeless heritage of Amir Taimur also symbolizes our shared civilizational pride and enduring historical connection, a legacy carried forward by his descendants, primarily Zahiruddin Babur, who established the Mughal Empire in the subcontinent in 1526. The year 2026 will mark the 500th anniversary of that landmark event. As proud heirs to that glorious legacy, Pakistan and Uzbekistan would do well to celebrate that occasion in a befitting manner. Over the past many decades, the rich cultural and historical linkages between Pakistan and Uzbekistan have been translated into a strategic partnership founded on mutual trust, respect, and shared interests. The two countries have significantly expanded cooperation in trade, transport, and energy connectivity. The Pakistan-Uzbekistan Transit Trade Agreement, progress on the Trans-Afghan Railway, and expanding business-to-business exchanges are paving the way for greater regional integration between Central and South Asia. In the realm of security and counter-terrorism, we continue to collaborate closely to ensure peace and stability in Afghanistan and the wider region. In education, culture, and people-to-people exchanges, our engagement continues to grow, reflecting our shared aspiration for a peaceful and prosperous Eurasian neighborhood. It is heartening to note that the book devotes an entire chapter to the divinity of Pakistan-Uzbekistan bilateral relations, analyzing in depth the multidimensional nature of our partnership. It captures the spirit of New Pakistan and New Uzbekistan, two nations striving for renewal and reform, yet grounded in shared civilizational roots. In the broader context, Pakistan views Central Asia as a pivotal region, one that lies at the crossroads of Eurasia and holds immense potential for connectivity, trade, and energy linkages. Our engagement with Central Asian republics is guided by the principles of mutual benefit, respect for sovereignty, and shared developments. Within this framework, Pakistan's vision Central Asia and its five-pronged approach encompassing political and diplomatic, trade and economic, energy and connectivity, security and defense, and people-to-people interactions provides a comprehensive roadmap for deepening regional cooperation. Initiatives such as the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor, CPEC, when linked with Central Asian transport corridors, could serve as a bridge between South and Central Asia. Projects such as CASA 1000 and the Trans-Afghan Railway offer tangible pathways for advancing the long-cherished goals of regional connectivity. Uzbekistan's role in promoting this agenda under President Mirziyoyev's stewardship is of huge importance. His forward-looking approach aligns seamlessly with Pakistan's own vision of regional integration and shared prosperity. The scholarly contribution of Dr. Mahmoodul Hasan Khan deserves special mention. The book's detailed treatment of Uzbekistan's macroeconomic policies, democratic reforms, and foreign policy evolution makes it an invaluable resource for researchers and policymakers alike. The work's intellectual depth, spanning topics from Digital Uzbekistan 2030 strategy to foreign direct investment trends, cultural diplomacy, and bilateral defense cooperation, demonstrate the author's dedication to presenting a holistic and well-researched account. As we reflect on the remarkable story of modern Uzbekistan under President Shavkat Mirziyoyev, we are reminded that visionary, reform-oriented, and inclusive governance can serve as a powerful catalyst for national renewal and regional peace. His example reinforces the principle that cooperation, not competition, is the key to progress in our interconnected world. Excuse me. I again congratulate Dr. Mahmoodul Hasan Khan on his excellent contribution and express our gratitude to the Embassy of Uzbekistan for his close cooperation with ISSI in hosting this event. Let this occasion reaffirm our collective commitment to further deepening the Pakistan-Uzbekistan strategic partnership and enhancing the bonds of friendship that unite our peoples. I thank you.
Thank you, Ambassador Sohail Mahmood, for your comprehensive and thoughtful remarks, highlighting the enduring friendship between Pakistan and Uzbekistan, as well as the significance of President Shavkat's reform agenda and regional vision. Excellencies, I now invite His Excellency Ambassador Alisher Tohtayev, Ambassador of the Republic of Uzbekistan to the Islamic Republic of Pakistan, to deliver his congratulatory address. Ambassador.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Distinguished Chief Guest, Honorable Federal Minister Aurangzeb Khan Khichi Saab, Excellencies, Ambassadors and diplomats, dear friends, scholars, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. It's a great honor for me to welcome all of you once again here in Islamabad, a city where the ideas of friendship, trust, and partnership between our nations are transformed into real action and tangible cooperation. I wish to express my sincere gratitude to the leadership of the Institute of Strategic Studies, Islamabad, and especially to its Director General, His Excellency, Ambassador Suhail Mahmoud Saab, for providing this wonderful venue and for their generous support in organizing today's event. Thanks to their professionalism and warm hospitality, this gathering became possible and has made an important contribution to strengthening friendship and mutual understanding between Uzbekistan and Pakistan. Dear friends, just 3 weeks ago, on October 16th, we gathered for the launch of a book by our Pakistani friend and journalist, Mr. Muhammad Abbas Khan, titled Uzbekistan, the Third Renaissance, the Concept of the Future. Today, we are meeting again for another special occasion to celebrate the publication of yet another remarkable work written by a well-known Pakistani scholar, analyst, and our long-time friend, Dr. Mahmoodul Hasan Khan Saab, entitled Shavkat Mirziyoyev, a great leader of reforms and regional connectivity, integration. We see these publications as a reflection of the deep respect and appreciation that our brotherly Pakistan holds for the leadership of President Mirziyoyev, and as a clear sign of the growing interest of Pakistan's academic and intellectual community in Uzbekistan's modern development model. In a very short time, 2 books about Uzbekistan and its leader have been published right here in Islamabad, a fact that speaks for itself. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the new work by Dr. Mahmoodul Hasan Khan Saab is the result of his many years of observation, research, and sincere admiration for the transformation taking place in Uzbekistan. Across more than 400 pages, the author explores 39 key themes, from macroeconomic transformation, financial reforms, and poverty reduction to foreign policy, cultural diplomacy, and regional integration. As President Shavkat Mirziyoyev has said, our reforms are not for statistics. They are for people, for their dignity, honor, and future. With both scholarly precision and rare literary skill, the author presents the phenomenon of President Mirziyoyev's leadership, that of a reformer who turned the idea of a new Uzbekistan into a genuine strategy of progress, stability, and openness. The book provides an in-depth analysis of Uzbekistan 2017-2026 development programs, the Vision 2030 strategy, and the nation's successful steps in digitalization, green energy, food security, small business support, and investment attraction. Special attention is given to social reforms aimed at promoting fairness, supporting vulnerable groups, and creating employment opportunities for youth. As the author rightly notes, social stability and a people-centered approach have become a cornerstone of Uzbekistan's new state policy. An important part of the study focused on regional connectivity, which stands at the heart of Uzbekistan's foreign policy. Dr. Khan highlights President Mirziyoyev's initiatives to transform Central Asia into a region of trust, good neighborliness, and shared development. Projects such as Trans-Afghan Railway and the Surkhan-Polykhomri power line are presented as strategic instruments of economic linkage between Central and South Asia, powerful symbols of a new architecture of cooperation between Tashkent and Islamabad. My dear colleagues, as a special part of the book focuses on Uzbekistan-Pakistan relations, which the author rightly describes as having reached a new qualitative level under the leadership of President Shavkat Mirziyoyev and Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif. Today, Uzbekistan and Pakistan are strategic partners, united not only by economic interests, but by shared history, culture, and mutual trust. Thanks to the efforts of our leaders, the high-level Strategic Cooperation Council is functioning successfully. There are now 4 direct flights every week connecting Tashkent with Islamabad and Lahore. Tourism exchanges are growing, and new educational programs are being launched. Trade and economic cooperation are also gaining strong momentum. In 2024, bilateral trade exceeded $404 million US. And in just the first 9 months of this year, it has already surpassed 405 million. We expect that by the end of 2025, bilateral trade will exceed $500 million. And both of our countries are confidently moving toward the shared goal of reaching $2 billion in the coming years. The Trans-Afghan Railway project deserves particular emphasis. It will serve as a key link in developing transport and logistics cooperation and will provide Central Asia with direct access to Pakistan's seaports. This is more than just an infrastructure project. It's a symbol of trust, partnership, friendship, and strategic unity between our regions. Dear ladies and gentlemen, allow me to express my sincere appreciation and admiration for their presence here today of the ambassadors and diplomats from the Central Asian, OTS, and the CIS countries. My dear friends and colleagues, your participation clearly shows that the ideas of connectivity and cooperation promoted by President Mirziyoyev are finding a positive and living response across our entire region, uniting us in our shared pursuit of peace, progress, and integration. Together, we are strong. Dear Mahmoud Hassan Saab's books clearly demonstrates that Uzbekistan and Pakistan share a common vision of the future, a peaceful, connected, prosperous region. It convincingly shows that modern Uzbekistan is not only a nation of reforms, but also a reliable partner with whom Pakistan sees real opportunities for cooperation in trade, energy, science, and culture. My dear friends, let me express my sincere gratitude to Dr. Mahmoud Hassan Khan Saab for his remarkable work, for his objective and profound analysis, and for his genuine love for Uzbekistan. His book is not just an academic study, it's a gesture of friendship and respect, another spiritual bridge between our two great nations. I am confident that such projects not only strengthen mutual understanding between Uzbekistan and Pakistan, but also make our dialogue deeper, more meaningful, and more human. On behalf of the Embassy of Uzbekistan and Government of Uzbekistan, I extend heartfelt thanks to all our Pakistani friends, partners, and colleagues who through their hard work, ideas, and constant support contribute to the strengthening of Uzbek-Pakistani brotherhood. Uzbekistan, Pakistan dosti hamisha zindabad. Bahut shukriya.
Thank you, Excellency, for your inspiring words and for your continued efforts in strengthening the Pakistan-Uzbekistan partnership. We will now hear the congratulatory remarks from Honorable Aurangzeb Khan Khichi, Federal Minister for National Heritage and Culture Division who will share reflections on this important occasion. I now kindly invite Honorable Minister Aurangzeb Khan to please deliver his remarks. Sir.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. His Excellency Ambassador of Uzbekistan, Alisher Torikov, Director General ISI, dear participants, His Excellencies, all the ambassadors, and the writer of the book, Dr. Mahmood Al-Hassan, Assalamu alaikum. I am honored to join you for the launch of this magnificent event, the book by Dr. Mahmood Al-Hassan on a great leader of our era, President Shavkat Mirziyoyev. And I am also thankful to Institute of Strategic Studies Islamabad and Embassy of Uzbekistan to arrange this magnificent evening today. This book rightly celebrates a leader whose work on reforms and regional connectivity is shaping our shared future. The role of president is not an example, but I think it's a model for the political workers, students around all our neighboring countries, from which everyone can learn and can inspire his vision to implement these fantastic and magnificent reforms which is taking place in Uzbekistan to develop Uzbekistan in a more efficient and a better way. I have been to Uzbekistan lately, and I'm proud to say that it is a wonderful place to visit now, and with the cooperation of Uzbekistan great ambassador, His Excellency, now we have 4 flights connectivity from Pakistan to Uzbekistan, and this is a vital way of connecting people to people, contact with each other. Your Excellency, Pakistan deeply values President Shavkat's vision. It has opened a new chapter in Pakistan-Uzbekistan ties, moving us closer through trade and infrastructure projects. This partnership, rooted in our shared history, is a key to prosperity of our people, and we are committed to its success. Finally, I congratulate the author, Professor Dr. Mahmood Al-Hassan Khan, for his excellent work in documenting this story and history and work. This book will help us, everyone, understand these positive changes in our region and the strong friendship between our nations. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Minister, for your valuable thoughts and for reaffirming Pakistan's commitment to expanding cooperation with Uzbekistan and the wider Central Asian region. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now my privilege to invite the author of the book, Dr. Mahmood Al-Hassan Khan, to formally present his publication, Shavkat Mirziyoyev, a great leader of reforms and regional integration. Dr. Khan's extensive research offers a comprehensive insight into Uzbekistan's journey of reform, modernization, and regional engagement under the leadership of President Shavkat. Sir, the floor is yours.
First of all, thank you very much. I mean to say, His Excellency DG of ISSI, His Excellency Suhail Mehmood. We were both in China some 2 months ago for the SCO. So thank you very much, sir, for hosting that kind of graceful event. His Excellency Ali Sher, the Ambassador of Uzbekistan, this is your moment and this is my moment, and it is the moment of all the entire Central Asia. The completion of this book is about discarding I and me and discovering we in us. I am personally thankful to Ali Sher, the Uzbekistan ambassador, and entire team who worked tirelessly to overcome all hurdles in the completion of this book. I really appreciate all the prime think tanks of Uzbekistan, various PhD scholars of Uzbekistan, MOFA, for their extended cooperation and coordination. Last but not least, I personally acknowledge the valuable contribution of Major General Khalid Amir Jafri Saab, the president of our think tank, for his unwavering support and faith in my capabilities. It is a joint publication, the Center of South Asia and International Study, and the Center of Knowledge and Public Policy. I would like to share that the idea of writing a comprehensive book was discussed 1 year ago. All the topics have been selected through consultative mechanism with 3 premier think tanks of Uzbekistan, along with valuable input of its various PhD scholars of universities and foreign ministry. It has been a byproduct of complete secrecy, constant liaison, and joint collaborative effort of all of us. Interestingly, the GDP growth of Uzbekistan averaged 5 to 6% since 2016, when His Excellency Shavkat Mirziyoyev, the President of Uzbekistan, took the presidency. And the national poverty rate has fallen to 8.9%, which may be surpassed 6% during the end of 2026. Upholding its immense stability, sustainability, diversity, inching towards quality development, modernization, and digitalization. Uzbekistan is now in the final stage of its World Trade accession process, with the goal of joining by 2026, a move that could further open its economy, deepening global ties. The book is the first of its kind in Pakistan academic history, which covers more than 39 different subjects pertaining to the Uzbekistan microeconomy, community development, private enterprises, society, system, and systematic good governance, financial reforms, poverty elimination, generation of new jobs, politicalization and democratization, constitutional evolutionary journey, cultural diplomacy, and last but not least, bilateral relations with Pakistan, visionary leadership, structural reforms, national development strategies, last but not least, regional connectivity. It is indeed a complete book and of course a missing link to policymakers of both countries and a ready reference to potential businessmen, investor of both countries for the further strengthening of Pakistan-Uzbekistan bilateral relations in the right direction. It is a giant step towards formation of corridor of knowledge consisting of genuine scholars, regional experts, strategists, applied economists, think tank, and diplomats. It is not only to conventional wisdom highlighting only the one side, but it is also full of practical solutions, comprehensive suggestions, and effective recommendation gearing Uzbekistan economy, society, and system towards greater stability, sustainability, progress, prosperity, and peaceful resolution. Additionally, it is not all about appeasement management doctrine, because it always achieves short-term gains and gains, but for scoring a long-term sustainable growth, voices of genuine scholars, experts, strategists must also be heard and respected for forming a progressive society, maintaining a liberal economy, scoring a people-centric governance, connectivity, and this book is based on holistic and comprehensive scheme which has covered all aspects and secret of human survival, societal striving towards economic self-reliance, national resistance, and above all, strategic vision for leadership in shape of Shavkat Mirziyoyev, the president of Uzbekistan. It diminished notions and concept of storytelling, telling, and stereotype presentation, and self-claiming of so-called senior expert syndrome. Therefore, the author humbly submits that the policymaker of Uzbekistan must keep pushing on structural reforms, modernizing utilities, improving education, expanding broadband access, and ensuring transparent public investment. Hopefully, these ongoing structural reforms would succeed to maintain a long-term and sustainable prosperity in Uzbekistan. It is a codification of economic liberalization, institutionalization of foreign direct investment, journey from centralization to decentralization, connectivity, and immense people's welfare. It has transcended journey of centuries into a book form which provides suggestion to transform ancient civilization, traditions, and culture into cashable commodities through a complete scheme of arrangement, brotherhood into a best practiced model of doing business, and last but not least, similarities into the ship of socio-economic integration, industrial cooperation, joint ventures, and development of productive channels. Obviously, this miraculous socio-economic development did not happen by chance. Since President Shavkat Mirziyoyev came to power in 2016, Uzbekistan has pursued a series of market-oriented reforms to dismantle decade of economic isolation. The government unified the exchange rate, lifted currency restrictions, and simplified customs and tax rules. It began privatizing state enterprises, liberalizing trade, and reducing barrier to foreign business. It is not all about folk and fairy tales. Rather, it is all about converting these treasures to human library model commonly used in most of the modern countries and community around the globe to attract more and more regional as well as global tourists. Hence, it's about figures which speaks by themselves, mitigating all false, fake, and fabricated propaganda about Uzbekistan economy, society, and system. I also appreciate policy suggestions of my dear friends Ansar Bhatti, Taseen Akhtar, Riaz Ahmed Saab, Shams Abbasi, Safir Hussain Shah, and last but not least, Muhammad Ramzan, who is the president of Babri Forum in Pakistan, for their unconditional support and commitment to jointly work for the further strengthening of bilateral relations. They are doing a great job in the sphere of public as well as media diplomacy in the country, which should be highly appreciated. Last but not least, no, I would only quote the latest published report of the World Bank, which has published some days ago. clearly mentioned or indicating stability, sustainability of Uzbekistan microeconomy, which has been rated as one of the 5 fastest growing economy in the broader Europe and Central Asian region. The report projects Uzbekistan GDP will expand by about 6.2 to 6.5% in 2025, well above the regional average, aimed on overall slowdown across emerging European and Central Asian markets. Overall, regional GDP growth is expected to ease to roughly 2.4% in 2026, and heads off to the series of economic structure reforms of Shavkat Mirziyoyev, which has transformed Uzbekistan in the haven of attracting more or more foreign direct investments. Thank you very much for your patience. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Mahmoodul Hassan Khan Saab, for sharing this intellectual foundations and key findings of this significant work. Ladies and gentlemen, I now invite the esteemed chief guest, author, speakers, chairman, as well as Director General ISSI and the honorable ambassadors and representatives of the Central Asian Republics to please come forward in front of the stage for the formal book presentation and a photograph. Please. The rest of the program will be continued as instructed because the chief guest had to leave early. Now we will move towards the discussants. Ladies and gentlemen, we will now hear remarks on the content and significance of the book from Major General Syed Jafri, a distinguished scholar and analyst. Sir, the floor is yours.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Ambassador Khalid Mahmood, Ambassador Sohail, His Excellency, Ambassador Alisher, Ambassador of Kazakhstan. It is a pleasure and, of course, an honor for me to be here today to discuss Dr. Mahmood's book. Through personal experience, I know the hurdles which he had to go through, and of course, but he stuck to his guns. He worked very hard and produced a very high quality book. Dr. Saab, congratulations. And for us in the think tank, it is a matter of great pride that you have written such a high quality book. Sorry. As Ambassador Alisher has said, that in the past few weeks, there have been a number of seminars, conferences on Uzbekistan. This is, I think, the maximum number of conferences on Uzbekistan which I have seen in the past 5-6 years in my association with various think tanks and all. So this shows the dynamism of the ambassador of Uzbekistan, Mr. Alisher. And he has really worked very hard, and his team, of course. The previous ambassadors also, they had a lot of big part actually to play in this. But anyway, where the relations between Pakistan and Uzbekistan stand today, I think a lot of credit goes to His Excellency, Ambassador Alisher. And of course, we will keep on, Dr. Saab, producing more material on this, inshallah ta'ala. When President Shavkat Mirziyoyev assumed the leadership of Uzbekistan in 2016, he inherited a nation that had long been under a closed-off, centrally controlled system. From the starting point, his vision of a new Uzbekistan has driven reforms across political, economic, social, and foreign policy spheres. My experience with the Uzbekistan has been that all the initiatives have actually emanated from Uzbekistan. And I was very happy, this was in 2017, when in Tashkent, His Excellency President Shavkat Mirziyoyev said, I was present at that time there, that Pakistan has to be treated like a Central Asian country. So this shows his vision of connectivity and his vision for the future of Pakistan and Uzbek relations. The key achievements of His Excellency President Shavkat, we have all been discussing that. Uzbekistan has embarked on significant economic reforms, opening up sectors to foreign investment, streamlining bureaucracy, and improving the business climate. For example, the new Uzbekistan Development Strategy 2022-26 emphasizes strengthening competitiveness, attracting foreign investment, and modernizing the economy. Improved external economic ties, trade, and investment have increased, for example, deeper cooperation with China, Gulf states, and other partners. Social development, education, youth, etc., has also been a very important factor of President Shavkat's policies. In June 2025, the President noted that more than 150,000 young people earned international language certificates in 2024, about double the previous year. In science competitions, students from 10 regions of Uzbekistan won 166 medals in the first half year, showing regional spread of educational opportunity. Reforms in the social sector also emphasize raising enrollment in preschool and higher education, improving digital skills among youth, 1 Million Coders Initiative. Governance, human rights, and institutional reforms. President Shavkat has also emphasized the rule of law, greater transparency, and better governance, departing from earlier practices. Media freedom has improved a lot, and I have been to Uzbekistan now a number of times, And I have seen the free media. And I've given a lot of interviews there in my various capacities when I went there as an international observer in the various elections, starting from the parliamentary elections to the presidential. So the media is doing a very good job now. Under his tenure, Uzbekistan has reorientated its foreign policy, more active engagement with neighbors and the world, strengthening regional cooperation in Central Asia. For instance, the country chaired the Organization of Turkic States in 2022-23 and launched new platforms of cooperation. The relations with the neighboring states have also improved much, and especially with the Uzbekistan and Tajikistan on issues such as climate change, water resources, and regional connectivity. Uzbekistan has begun presenting initiatives on the global stage. The railway project, which has been mentioned by a number of speakers, this is an initiative of Uzbekistan. And Pakistan, of course, supported this initiative. So like I said earlier, all initiatives have come from Uzbekistan, which shows that the Uzbek hierarchy, His Excellency the President, they are very keen on connectivity and on developing good relations with all its neighbors. A key pillar has been upgrading infrastructure and investing in energy, including renewables. For example, large solar and wind power plants have been launched. The government has committed to increasing the share of green energy in the country's energy mix and harnessing private investment in the sector. This signals a shift from isolation and heavy state control towards openness, competitiveness, and engagement. This has laid the foundation for improved living standards. Better education means better jobs and opportunities. A more diversified economy means less reliance on a single sector. Regionally, Uzbekistan is positioning itself as a hub of cooperation in Central Asia, which strengthens stability and mutual benefit. On the global stage, the reforms invite more foreign investment, which can accelerate growth and integration. The improvement and in the climate, economic climate of Uzbekistan, I've seen personally with my own eyes. And one of the indicators that a lot of people who had gone abroad and had not come back after going through various courses and all, a lot of the people are now coming back to Uzbekistan because of better job opportunities and because of better economic conditions. One of my conducting officers, youngster, he had gone to Japan. After completing his studies, he had nearly settled there. But when President Shavkat Mirziyoyev took over, he saw the opportunities, he was back along with many of his classmates. So this is the policy and the vision of His Excellency, the President, who has really given an agenda that is ambitious, multidimensional, and clearly focused on transformation. Uzbekistan is navigating a path of renewal. The notion of a new Uzbekistan is not merely a slogan. It is a framework for change, and so far, the progress is tangible. Just one or two sentences more about our region and how Uzbekistan can serve as an example. The President has been governor of 2 states. He has been Prime Minister for 8 years, Excellency? 13 years. And under His Excellency President Islam Karimov. So this system in Uzbekistan has thrown up somebody of such experience. And that is why Uzbekistan is now progressing under the very experienced hand of President Shavkat Mirziyoyev. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for your perspective and perceptive observations and for highlighting the broader implications of the book's analysis. Finally, I invite Professor Dr. Adam Saud Dean of Bahria University, Islamabad, to share his reflections on the book and its contribution to the understanding of Uzbekistan's reform trajectory and regional diplomacy. Professor, the floor is yours.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Thank you very much, Taimur. He's my student, actually. Well, I think it's always a privilege and a moment of joy to speak anything about Central Asia. Being in Uzbekistan multiple times, like Mr. Jaffrey, he has explained that how Uzbekistan has transformed. I also have seen how this country has transformed. My first visit was back in 2013, and later on I had multiple visits. And for your information, I just came back last Saturday from Tashkent. So every time when I visit Uzbekistan, I always feel a difference, a change. And I think all the credit goes to the President, Mr. Shavkat Mirziyoyev. So, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum, good evening. Thank you very much for providing me this opportunity. I'm grateful to the Institute of Strategic Studies as well as the Embassy of Republic of Uzbekistan, who has invited me to give my talk on the very first book by any of the Pakistani scholar or author on President Shavkat Mirziyoyev and his policies. I congratulate Dr. Mahmood al-Hasan Khan Sahab, a good brother, friend. Being a student, scholar, researcher, and a teacher of Central Asia, because all my master's, my PhD is on Central Asia. I have written multiple articles and book chapters on Central Asia. So I think Pakistan's destiny is a destiny that is shared by the Central Asian republics. So we had been the same people, we are still same people. The history, imperial powers actually, they divided us. The Tsars and the Soviets in the north and the Britain in the south, they divided us. But right now we have seen that those linkages are being re-emerging, and they are actually, we are going to reconnect each other. Coming towards the book, I think it has comprehensively covered almost all the aspects which the President has taken initiative, particularly when the President came to power in 2016. I was keenly observing what types of transformation and reforms he is going to bring. And in 2018, I wrote an article that is available on the internet. It was Changing Dynamics of Uzbekistan's Foreign Policy under President Shavkat Mirziyoyev. And I tried to bring some kind of future predictions in that article, and I'm proud to say that almost 85% of those predictions they have become true. And like Khalid Amir Jafri Saab, he has explained that the President, he had been the Prime Minister of Uzbekistan for 13 years, so he had more experience and knowledge about what he has to do and what not to do. I would quickly go and discuss 2-3 points only, because being the last speaker is always a problem for the audience and easy for the speaker, because most of things have already been explained by different speakers. I think the most important transformation or the steps which have been taken by the President is the institution building, strengthening of the institution, not revolving around the personality, but the strengthening of the institution which have been taken by the President. And I think more and more people in Uzbekistan, they are getting benefit out of those institution strengthening. By the way, on the lighter note, this time when I visited Uzbekistan, so I downloaded one app, Yandex Go, and to your information, from between 500 rupees to 1500 rupees, you can hire high-class BYD and honkies as taxis. So this is, something very amazing for me this time. Now we see that within the 5 to 6 years of time span, the per capita income of the Uzbek people, it has doubled. So it was around $1,600 to $1,700, but now it's more than $3,300. So this is one of the major indicators of economic development and prosperity that has been brought into Uzbekistan. And the important thing is that when he came to power, President Mirziyoyev, he came to power, he initiated strengthening the intra-regional connectivity. It was not only, Uzbekistan, but he actually not tried to, but he actually resolved the border and water conflicts with the neighboring countries. And if you look at the bilateral trade or the intra-regional trade in Central Asia, it has multiplied, in this 6 to 7 years of time. So I think this economic integration, it has brought fruits not only to the Central Asian region, but to the South Asian region and Pakistan as well, because these states, all the Central Asian states, they are really keen to have their international trade through Pakistan. And it's not only the Trans-Afghan Railway project that has been, the idea that has been given by President Mirziyoyev back in 2021, but the TIR agreement, Uzbekistan, it has signed, Kazakhstan has signed the TIR project. Under that project, we have seen that the consignments, they have been coming and going through Pakistan to these states. So this is another major step that has been taken over the period of time. The free trade agreements and the transit trade agreements which have been signed between Pakistan and Uzbekistan and the other Central Asian states, they have also opened up, important avenues for future cooperation between Pakistan and the Central Asian region. One more thing that I have seen, recently seen in the Central Asian, it was Kyrgyzstan initially where Pakistani students used to go and study medicine, but over the period of time, their attention shifted towards first Kazakhstan, and now they have shifted their attention towards Uzbekistan as well. So this time, not only the Pakistani students, but I was amazed to say Pakistani teachers in different universities as well. So it was really an encouraging, I would say, moment for me as a student of Pakistan Central Asia relations. I think it's marvelous achievement so far. So I think the policies, all the students, they must, not only the students, but obviously the policymakers and the scholars, they should read this book. And I would urge Dr. Saab to translate it into Urdu as well. And I would love to have these books in my library as well. So I would urge that all the students who are sitting over here to read this book and try to get the real insight what Uzbekistan and what Central Asia is. Unfortunately, when I started my research in Central Asia, I was just a prisoner of Western media's propaganda. So everything negative was projected in that. So these states are, committing the human rights violation, blah, 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 and all that. So once I stepped into these countries, so it was entirely a different experience over there. So I think such kind of initiatives by Dr. Saab and other scholars is a very important step while giving or enlightening our students in Pakistan to give a real insight about not only Uzbekistan but all the Central Asian states. I again congratulate you, sir. It's a great achievement because I know writing a book is not an easy task. It takes time. You have to face so many hurdles and challenges into that. I am also grateful to ISSI and the Embassy of Republic of Uzbekistan for inviting me. I thank you all. Assalamu alaikum.
Excellencies, distinguished guests, this brings us to the conclusion of our formal proceedings today. On behalf of the Institute of Strategic Studies Islamabad and the Embassy of the Republic of Uzbekistan, I extend deepest gratitude to all of our esteemed speakers, participants, and guests for gracing this occasion with their presence. I now invite you to join us for tea and some snacks in the foyer. Thank you once again. Khuda Hafiz and Assalamu alaikum.